Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 7, entitled as Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Sloka 14. Daivī hyesha guṇa-mayī, mama māyā duratyayā, māyām prapadyante, māyām etāṁ taranti. This divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond. I would like to read a paragraph from the purport on this sloka by Srila Prabhupada, which summarizes what we have covered previously on the sloka. Also previous slokas. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of His energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. So we are all living entities. Since we are energy of Lord, we are also superior in that sense. But that has not been shown or realized, the reason because of the another energy called material energy, which is covering us. That is Prakriti. Continuing. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both material and spiritual natures, that is para and apara prakriti, that is what Prabhupada says here by saying previously stated. Both material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. Both are eternal, para and apara. And another point that Prabhupada makes here is that the living entities are conditioned souls. There is no trace out the history of when this condition happened. Therefore, it is very difficult to be released from the clutches of this material nature. Even though this material nature is inferior energy compared to the superior energy, or that is Jivatma, but ultimately this is all conducted by the supreme will of the Lord. Therefore, the living entity by themselves cannot overcome this māyā. And that is what we have covered so far. That is the first half of the sloka, how the māyā covers the living entities. Now the second part of the sloka, that is, how are we going to be released? What's the solution? How can we remove that covering? And that is explained in the second part, which is sharanagati, or taking refuge in the Lord to remove the māyā. This sharanagati is not to attain moksha. This is to remove the covering, so we can understand the greatness of the Lord. Once we know His greatness, then we'll take up bhakti, the upasana, seriously towards Krishna. And in that process, we ultimately attain the Supreme Lord. Because this Prakriti is covering us, that becomes an hindrance in our bhakti. So the context here for surrendering is to remove the Prakriti, the māyā. But at the same time, we also need to clearly understand that removing Prakriti not necessarily mean liberation at this point. That might mislead in that way, because we still have our Virodhi, the enemies that is within us, that has to go away. We still have our karma that has to go away as well. So when we say remove the Prakriti, meaning to remove the covering that we have on the real truth. This covering hides us from the truth, bewilders us, and creates an illusion to us, making us to think wrong things to be real and real things to be false. Therefore, the context of surrender here is to remove the covering or Prakriti so that we can understand our real identity. We can understand who Krishna is. By understanding these things, we can continue our bhakti without any doubts or illusion. At the same time, we can also say that this surrender will give liberation because this one leads in that direction. That is, first, it removes the covering, which then leads the rest of the chain in the process towards liberation. And that surrender eva should be done māyām eva, to Krishna alone. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that the Lord touching his chest says that māyām eva, only I can help you and cross over this most difficult Māyā, Prakriti. And Sripad Ramanujacharya, in his commentary to this, he elaborates on māyām eva. He says, māyām eva satya sankalpam paramakarunyam analochita visheshesha loka saranyam ye saranam prapadyante ta etāṁ madiyām guṇa-mayīm māyām taranti. So he tells why māyām eva, why Krishna is linked unto him, and is the only option. Satya Sankalpa, because Krishna is Satya Sankalpa. He does anything out of his free will. Because of his free will, he created this Prakriti. Because of his free will, he put the living entity into this Prakriti. So, for you to cross over this Prakriti, to be released from this Prakriti, do you think you can surrender to someone else to be released? Is it even possible? If you want to get released from a custody of a country, you need to submit to that country's authority, the king, not to the neighboring country. Here Krishna is Jagannatha, the Lord of the entire creation. As we already saw, everything is his energy. He is a proprietor. Everything belongs to him. daivī hyesha guṇa-mayī mama māyā duratyayā māmevayi prapadyante māyām etāṁ taranti te. Namaste. Hare Krishna.